Mike Owens with Inside Fighting, and it's always a pleasure to be joined by Mansur Abdul Malik, who returns to
Yes.
action UFC Atlanta facing Cody Brundage. Mansur, my man, how are things? How's training camp been so far?
Training camp has been good. Life has been good, man. I feel absolutely amazing.
The plant in the back of my background is maybe not as nice as the plant in the back of your background in Las Vegas, but enjoying life in the desert?
Man, it's honestly like this is one of the first times I visited before during the summertime, but this is my first time being here when it starts to become like that good summertime, and I'm blown away. The heat is something else. The dry heat
Mm,
is definitely something else, but like the environment, man, the sunshine, the weather when it comes to like the breeze and the sunshine, it's invigorating.
mm,
You know me, I'm a very big vibes guy, and like the
yeah.
environment plays a big part in training camp and life in general, but it feels absolutely amazing, like seeing things progress.
What's been the theme or like the mantra of this fight camp? I've been speaking to a lot of fighters recently. They've been giving me one or two words that they feel like that it's been their focus as they get ready for their next fight. What comes to mind for you?
The theme and the mantra has been no theme and mantra. I feel like as fighters and as people, when you want to get better, there's always a theme. There's always something to get better at. There's always something that you need to strive for and achieve. But at times you have to kind of pull back and you have to kind of let the focus be no focus. You have to enjoy the moment and be truly, truly, truly present. And a lot of times, as crazy as it sounds, when you're focused on being present, when you're focused on trying to get better, and when you're focused on that perfect moment, you can almost forget about being. You can almost forget about being present and truly, 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 truly enjoying the moment and accepting it for what it is. And that's been my focus recently and lately is just being present, man, and truly enjoying this moment. I'm in the UFC. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm making money. I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I'm getting better. I'm with good people. I have
Mm.
good people in my circle. I have a good team. I have an amazing coach, an amazing father. But with all that being said, you know me, subconsciously, there's always that next level that I need to get to. So couple those two things together, I'm in the best spot that I've ever been in my entire life, and I'm grateful.
Is being present something that comes naturally to you, or is that something that you have to work on day over day?
Absolutely is something that comes naturally to me. I can lose myself in being present. I can forget about everything else. I can be in the moment so much so that nothing else matters. So it's extremely easy for me to just be in the moment. I have to almost pull myself out a little bit to be maybe like a little bit more strategic or a little bit more structured. But man, being present is me.
I love it. Talking about having good people and good training partners around you, I saw a video of you sparring with Manel Kape. I mean, talking about seeking out the hardest round in the room, he's one of the fastest flyweights on the planet, but five weight classes below you. Talk to me a little bit about training with the Starboy.
Man, what a person, what a man, what an athlete, what a fighter. But that's someone on a technical level that you can pick his mind for years and there will
Mm,
always be something new. There'll always be something else. There'll always be something that you can add to your arsenal. When it comes to the strategic knowledge, he's fought overseas, he's fought every which way, he's fought on Mars, probably. But
mm.
like you can always pick his brain when it comes to like these different things within the fight game. When it comes to being a man, when it comes to being a person, when it comes to being a Muslim, that's someone that's very, very, very special. And I'm extremely grateful for every single round, every single word, and every single moment that we've been able to share together, not only in this camp, but just in general. That's a very good person.
I imagine welterweights, middleweights, light heavyweights are the most beneficial types weight classes, sparring partners to work with or training partners to work with. But does it help you working with guys much lower in the weight classes, or maybe even much higher in terms of a heavyweight, in terms of the different speeds and the different reaction times of potential
Man,
opponents?
100%. That's how I grew up. So in my state, my home state, Maryland, I was always a bigger guy, but there was a very small amount of people that were my size that had my skill type that had even like the way that I move. So I was always trained with guys that were in the 130s and 140s. I was always focused on my skill a little bit more than the strength aspect because I already had that. So I grew up with that. But then in addition to that, when you have the mind of someone that's always trying to get better, always trying to pick up new aspects and new tools and new things. You want to go with everyone. You want to go
Mm.
with the heavyweights and you want to go with the flyweights. You want to go with guys that are your weight. You want to go with the guys that are not as good. You want to go with the guys that are world champions. You want to go with every single person because how could you do that? How could you neglect a certain body type because of a predisposition that you have when it comes to, oh, this person may not be specific for this fight camp. What is that, man? What is that?
Mm,
Of course, you need your different looks and the different specifics when it comes to emulating different opponents. But man, you have to go with everyone. You have to have an open mind. You have to see what isn't necessary, if that makes sense. How can
mm.
you know what's not necessary and what's not useful if you don't try different things? So I go with everybody.
I love it. Cody Brundage is your next opponent. Give me your scouting report, what you think he does well, and maybe where you think you have the advantages in this matchup.
I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter in many, many, many areas, almost all of them. He's a solid, solid fighter. But that's it. I feel like I'm better in every single area. I feel like I'm better mentally. I feel like I'm better physically. When you look at the frame, my frame is better. I feel like he's a good person. I don't know him personally, but I feel like he's good in all areas. And that's where the respect lies. Where it doesn't lie is when we compete. I feel like I'm better and I will show that I'm better. Period, point blank.
Do you look at this fight as a step up in competition to the other guys that you fought in your early part of your UFC career?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a step up in competition when you look at his record, when you look at the fights that he's had, when you look at his history of fights and how he's fought. Of course, it's a step up in competition. But in my mind, when it comes to a competitive mind, they're all the same. They're all the same. And I'd go a step further to say, as the competition rises, the guys almost seem like a little bit smaller. Not to disrespect anyone, but when the competition rises, you almost dumb it down a little bit more
Mm.
and see yourself as something even greater than you were before. When in reality, I'm much better than I was before.
How far away do you feel like you are from reaching your full potential in terms of what you can maximize of your skill set?
That's something that I contemplate on a lot. I don't feel that I'll ever truly reach my potential. If I'm really trying to get better, if I'm really trying to improve myself, if I'm really on this journey the way that I say I am on this journey, I feel like the potential is limitless. It's endless. It's the sky is the limit. How could you say that you have reached your potential one day? That's almost like you're settling. Maybe one day when I'm like 70 years old and I'm only gonna want to drink coffee on my porch, maybe then I'll truly reach my potential. But as long as I'm a competitor, as long as I'm signed to the UFC, as long as I'm on this journey, the potential doesn't exist. I'm always getting better. I'm always gonna be striving to go up. Sometimes it might go down. Sometimes you might be a little bit stagnant, but the focus is always going to be to shoot to the stars. And the stars, to my knowledge, really have no roof or ceiling.
Because I guess the reason why I asked that question, and I can't remember if I've asked you this question before, but I'll ask it again if I have. How fast or slow do you want to take your UFC career? Do you look at what you currently have in terms of your skills and go, get me to the top of this middleweight division as fast as you can because I feel like I'm ready? Or are you still in a skill development phase where you're taking these fights to build your skills so that when you are ready, whenever that is, you can make a
There's a
challenge at the top?
few different subgroups where like I have my mind. I have my mind in the okay, strategy. Make sure that you take the correct fights in the correct amount of time and get better. But then there's also that part of your mind where it's like, I need to be ready from day one. My debut, my contender series fight on a competitive level. When it comes to being a competitor, when it comes to being a fighter, I'm ready now. I'm ready right now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Throw me in there. I'm prepared. Skill level, fight IQ, the history of your fights, let those progress as they'll progress. But there needs to be a part of you where it's like, I'm ready now. I'm ready right now. I'm ready right now. Put me in there every single day, every other day. It doesn't matter with a new opponent, somebody new in the roster, and I will show that I'm better. Now, I'll do it in a professional way, in a smart way, and take my steps as they come and be strategic about it. But man, there's a few different places where my mind goes, and I'm ready now. I'm ready right now, and I'll let things come as they come, but I'll be smart about it.
Who's going to be in your corner for this one?
So I have Eric Nixick, I have Brad Tavares, and I have my father. What a trio that
Mm,
is, man.
I love it. I love it. Um, Dricus Du Plessis versus Hamzat Chimaev. It's finally booked. It feels like we're finally going to get this fight. How do you break down the next middleweight title fight?
That's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. on paper, and then in the fight as well, it's going to be exciting. 110%. You got Dricus du Plessis, unpredictable. He has his style down to a science. Whatever it is, he has it down to a science, and he wins. You have Hamzat, who comes in that first round, guns blazing. There's no shortage of action when it comes to him. And then it's not like he just comes in that first round and then the other rounds just drop off. We saw him in there against Gilbert Burns. He's a gamer. He's a gamer, he's a competitor, and he's a real fighter. And then that was a while ago at a different weight class. So man, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I have Hamzat winning. I feel he's matured in a way. He's matured in a way from that fight where we saw him and against Gilbert Burns. When we saw him in there against Robert Whitaker, even though it was a short, quick, and dominating performance, man, you could see the maturity almost. It's the mentality aspect. You can see levels have been jumped, but I have him winning for sure, and it's going to be exciting. I'm going to be tuned in.
You've been a training partner for Sean Strickland, who's obviously prepared for Dricus du Plessis not once
Mhm.
but twice. Has anybody in the gym, whether it be yourself or somebody else, been able to mimic his style to full effect, or is it so unique that people struggle to emulate it?
It's unique, but it's not unique in a sense where okay, he has so many different tools and it's unpredictable. You never know which tool he's going to use. He's just unpredictable in the way where he just keeps on coming forward. He keeps on coming forward and he breaks your rhythm of trying to stay within your rhythm, if that
Mm.
makes sense. He doesn't let you set your feet, basically. He doesn't let you start your train and start your movement. He's always coming forward and he won't let you get comfortable. So the unpredictability is in the fact that he just keeps coming forward and he's not going to stop and he's a true fighter. He has heart. He fights with his heart, man. But the unpredictability isn't as unpredictable as some might understand. The unpredictability lies in him just going forward and him not
Mm.
stopping, not giving up, and him having that true championship mentality that he believes he's going to win even before he steps inside that cage.
Speaking of Sean, there's been a video circulating of him sparring with Mike Perry recently, I think probably this week. Did you get any
Mhm.
rounds in with the Platinum one while he was in Las Vegas?
I did not get any rounds with him before, but funny enough, a long, long, long time ago when I trained in Florida, I was able to get a few rounds with him way
Mm.
back then. So I'm not unfamiliar to Mike Perry, but that's what a round that is, him and
Mm.
Sean Strickland.
Pay-per-view, some might say.
Pay-per-view, 100%.
You're not too big on the socials. You have two Instagram posts currently. You basically post, you post we share people when they do interviews with you or
Yeah.
things like that. I've seen on your Twitter, it's basically just a loads of quotes or some text or some quotes from the Quran generally. Is
Yep,
that
yep.
a conscious decision to stay away from social media?
No, it's not a conscious decision. Matter of fact, I probably should post a lot more. Man, I just want to be authentic. I
Mm.
want to be authentic in every single thing that I do, and oftentimes I can maybe be too authentic when it comes off as, oh, he doesn't even care about this. But I definitely should get into it a little bit more. I will get into it a little bit more. But man, I just want to be me. I just want to almost post my thoughts. The things that you see on social media for me, especially from Twitter, it's almost like me talking to myself.
Mm.
I feel like you're someone that can truly like read into that a little bit more than most. But it's almost like I'm speaking to myself. The things that I post on social media have zero caption. They're just post fight pictures, and it's just how my mind works, how I think, and the things that I want to reveal to the public, even though my thoughts are many. So I'll definitely get into it a little bit more. But man, it's not a conscious decision at all. I'm just doing my thing.
June 14th, Atlanta, Georgia, as you visualize, as I know that you do, how do you see not only the fight, but the entirety of the day playing out? Talk me through what a perfect day looks like.
That perfect day starts off with me getting good sleep, waking up, drinking that good strong cup of coffee, shaking everything out, getting hydrated, stretching out, maybe getting a little shakeout, maybe getting a little something in just to break that good sweat, get to the arena. It's another day. I'm feeling free. It's casual. Warm up, go out there, God willing, get my hand raised, leave, and go get some good food with good people. And it's as casual as that, man. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful opportunity. I'm grateful for my opponent for accepting the fight, for competing with me on that night as well. It's going to be a beautiful day and a casual day at that. The stress level has been much, much higher on certain training days. The stress level has been much, much higher on nights where you can't sleep when you've already trained 5 times and you want to get a sixth one in.
Mm.
The stress level has been much higher than that fight night. If anything, that's where I'm most relaxed. That day is a celebration almost. As soon as the sun rises, for true fighters and for fighters like me and for guys that live to compete and that want to compete, that day is a celebration. That day is just happiness. Finally, I get to fight. Finally, I get to be under these lights. Finally, I get to showcase a bit of my skills in a 15-minute time frame. Now I get to show the world what I'm about. But then you're not even thinking about showing the world what you're about because you already know what you're about. You're just proving something to yourself once again. So it's going to be a beautiful day. God willing, it's going to be a victorious day. It's going to be a happy day. And I'm going to be extremely peaceful on that night.
Goosebumps as always. Mansur, it's always a pleasure, my man. Good to see you again. Have a great and safe rest of camp and best of luck for this next fight.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.